Hello, my friends. It's me, Chris Biffle, Coach B, broadcasting live on a beautiful Southern California evening, November 25th, 2013. So tonight's show is about the most challenging of challenging kids. How do we define them? A kid who is immune to penalty and immune to peer pressure, a wondrously challenging child, and have we got an incredible technique for you tonight. Here we go. Let me get my screen tuned up here. I'm going to dial it in. Here is my opening screen. And I think I'm just about ready to go here. All right. Whole Brain Teaching Masterclass, Week 12, the Bullseye Game. There's only 13 weeks, my friends. So let's just stop a second and talk to the online audience and get some response. What techniques have you learned in this 13-week masterclass that are just so effective? Almost to the end. What have we shown you that you really, really like? Next week is the last week of the 13-week masterclass, and we'll take a Christmas break. Scoreboard, says S. Rebel. What else, my friends? Class teach, says S. Rebel. The telegraph, yes, the tally graph, all of it. The scoreboard, mirrors, says Kath, have. Use it all. Super improver wall, says B. Marvin. Mirrors, says Rebel. Mirror words. Mirrors with words. Class, yes. Teach, okay. All right, my friends. So get ready for what may be a career saver. And when I say career saver, I mean it. I mean, there are teachers who have had to quit because of challenging kids. So tonight we're going to have some brain facts. I know brain facts is one of our favorite segments. We're going to have a zingy bonus tonight. You are still ever so cool. And a mystery thing lesson in which Coach B, that's me, tells you about my magical curveball when I was a boy. And you bet your Wibby to see how good you are at whole brain teaching. Here's our book, Whole Brain Teaching for Challenging Kids, and Biffy Bluebird says, one book, megawatts of funtricity. Biffy Bluebird, always good to see you. Good to see you, Coach. We're really going to have a sizzly program tonight. Biffy, you are so right. And we're going to repeat our wondrous announcement from last week. And it's coming at the end of this program. So here we are, wholebrainteaching.com, one of the world's most popular education websites. Over 4 million views on YouTube, 10 million pages downloaded. Look at the Facebook numbers. One teacher in every school in about 2 or 3 years. I really think that's possible. Let's do a quick online survey. My friends, tell me where you're at, and is there anybody in your school? How many teachers in your school are using elements of whole brain teaching? Who's using it? And what are you using? Looking at my chat box, Pacoima, California is the only one so far. 2 of them in Washington, about 4 of them Daughter's using it in another city, Cleveland, Ohio. The whole school, says Marlon Pride. Oh, that's fantastic. Whole school, says Kath Ave. Well, here's our next announcement. Biffy says, what if someone wants a copy of these slides or needs a professional development certificate? And Smarty Wonderbeak replies, easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Details are at the end of this program. Good to see you, Smarty. Good to see you, Coach. I know you got a great program tonight. Let's just get on with it. Smarty, I think that is a wonderful suggestion. Let's just get on with it. Here's where we are, my friends. Check it out. Over the last weeks, we've been reviewing all the scoreboard levels, and we're up to level 6. Obvious question, why do we have levels? Because if they work for video games, my friend, they work in the classroom. Veteran teachers, newbie teachers have the same experience. You got something that works great in September, is dead wood in November. Anybody ever notice that? You can't believe how well something works, and then you can't believe how it stops working. Tiered instructional strategies, says my friend Mela 627. Yes, it's tiered instructional strategy. I'm going to borrow that. All right, here it is. You've been waiting for it. Let's get right down to it. Here is our dear friend Marge. What should I do if I've tried levels 1 to 5 and I have a student who is immune to penalty? Marge, that's a problem. Coach, you don't know the half of it. It's a big problem. I hope you got something for me, Coach. Marge, I do, and it's coming lickety-split. All right, Coach. I'm going to trust you on this one. Now, what if I've tried everything? All right, looks like we've got a frozen video situation. Let me go and check it out. I'm coming back at you. And let me just start it up again. Well, my friends, here I am. And when it freezes up, I'll come back again. Can everybody see and hear me? Hey, page art. All right, let's keep pressing on. Here's my screen. And it's time for the bullseye game. Here's what you do. You are going to put this diagram on the wall. A bullseye with 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The 5 stands for the best behavior, and the 1 stands for the worst behavior. And put it on the wall, and the kids will ask, what's that for? And my friends, when they ask, what's that for? You don't tell them. You let them just think about it for a while. What is that bullseye about? After their interest is piqued, here's how you introduce it. You explain that the game is for one of your friends in class. In a one-on-one session, you say to this particular student, you explain the scoring system. You role play behaviors 1 to 5. So, what's that mean? It means you show the child what a 1 behavior looks like. Show them what a 5 behavior looks like. Show them what a 3 behavior looks like so they understand the difference between being a model student and following all the rules and being a disruptive student and not following any of the rules. And then you do something very, very unusual in whole brain teaching. You show them some stickers. We never give away junk in whole brain teaching because we're saving the junk for our most challenging kids. So if they're interested in Batman, you show them some Batman stickers. If they're interested in soccer, you show them some soccer stickers. Little ones are for a few points and big ones are for more points. And here's what you do. Here's the cruncher. The cruncher is, at the end of the day, the kid is going to write down how many points she thought she got. Was she a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1? And you're going to write down how many points the child actually got. Let's go over that again. Here's the deal. You show the scoreboard 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You talk about it one-on-one. And then at the end of the day, the child writes down what they think they got in terms of behavior, and you write down what they got. You compare scores. If their score matches yours, they get 2 points. If their score is 1 away from yours, they get 1 point. And then you keep track of the points. Think about that. Think about what's going on there. If the student matches the teacher's score, the student scores 2 points. If the student misses the teacher's score by 1 point, the student scores 1 point. If the student misses the teacher's score by more than 1 point, the student scores no points. Why? Students are rewarded for seeing their behavior from the teacher's point of view. Can you dig that? Here's what's incredible about the Bullseye game. A kid has a terrible day, and they say, yeah, I had a terrible day. That's a 1. And you say, you're right, that's a 1. You get 2 points. Why would you do that? Because the kid is taking responsibility and is not in denial about their behavior. They're seeing their behavior from your point of view. That's rare, that's wondrous, and that's the kind of objectivity we almost don't even see in adults. When an adult messes up, what do they say? It's your fault. Now, Sarah Metter and others, Michelle Shelton is online. Share with our friends how amazing the scoreboard is. See, there's no punishment here. You are rewarding for an incredibly mature recognition. You know, what'll happen often is that kids will score them less. Like they'll say, the kid had a pretty good day, and they give themselves a 1. That's classic for challenging kids. They don't even recognize their own behavior. They undervalue. That's the amazing power of the scoreboard. And we've been using it for a decade, and it works and works and works for the most challenging kids. Notice there's no peer pressure here. It's one-on-one or one-on-2. Here's our next screen. What are the advantages of the Bullseye game, asked Marge. Students earn points based upon accountability. When students see their behavior from the teacher's point of view, they win. No scolding is involved. Even on their worst day, students can score 2 points by objectively evaluating their behavior. I was a 1 today. And it's a powerful counseling bond that can develop between teacher and student. When a student scores a 1, ask, what's going on at home? Stop there for a second. You got a kid who's still getting 1s? Something's going on at home. It will be revealed by their behavior on the Bullseye game, and it gives you a chance to just say, what's going on at home? Now you can get down to the real issue. And there was no scolding, yelling, recrimination, or finger pointing. Just talk to me about what's happening at home. Jeff Battle is online. Jeff, help people understand the power of the Bullseye game. Jeff's got some pretty tough kids. Let's keep marching forward. I feel the progress surging upward in Digitalville. Now, there's 2 problems that you might have. Here they are. We'll be honest, and then we'll tell you how to solve it. This is a back pocket technique. Other students may complain, but point out that every student will receive special attention, but it won't always be the same kind of special attention. A student may con the game and engage in negative behavior, and then be honest about it, like, yeah, I was a 1 today, give me my points. When you see this pattern, don't give any points for 1 scores. The game may be too hard for your most disruptive kids, and let the student choose a behavior to focus on, for example, lining up. So here's the ultimate back pocket strategy. You do the Bullseye game, the kid is so out of control that they keep having 1 days. And say, all right, look, here's 10 things I'd like you to work on. You pick 1, and we'll just work on that 1 behavior on the Bullseye game. You're making progress. Pick which thing that you think you can really handle. Here's an important point. Here's my little cartoon self coming back at you. The Bullseye game is WBT's most successful tool for reforming the behavior of our most troubled students. When a student scores 25 points, give her an additional reward. One student chose an energy drink, like they really needed that. The reason we don't give out rewards at any other level is because we're saving them for our toughest kids. So here's the big secret. All through this master class, I've been saying, don't give candy, don't give lottery tickets, don't give this, don't give that. You don't need to. If you never give out junk, junk is so valuable when you do give it out for your most challenging kids. And give out that junk, minuscule rewards in the Bullseye game. Does that make sense to everybody? Anybody online have a question about the Bullseye game? I'm looking at my online experts. $2.14 says, can I go straight to the Bullseye? If you need to, I will let you. Tiered instruction again says, Melia. Michelle says, I let them trade stickers in for new books. Wow. Stu Crew, if you need to, yes, communicate it to parents. Oregon Teach, you know what? I would see how far you can go without rewards. Tall man, save it in your back pocket. Absolutely. I'm taking a drink to that, tall man. Very good, Jeff Battle. All right. Here's the summary. Bullseye game, a game for the most challenging kids, those who are immune to penalty. Kids score 2 points for matching the teacher's score, 1 point when they miss the teacher's score by a point. Kids can experience success even on their worst days simply by correctly evaluating their behavior. Points are cashed in for small prizes. The game is all reward, no penalty. So here's the beauty of the thing. Maria had an incredibly bad day. She was just boom, 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 boom off the wall. What are you going to do? Sit her down and play the bullseye game with her. So you're not waggling your finger in her face. Here is the levels again. So you're like a living video game. And some of you are thinking, how long should I wait before I start the bullseye game? Here's the answer. It's your classroom. Now let's say you've got a bunch of sweeties. Here's a timeline. Sweeties timeline. Check it out. From day 1 scoreboard, from day 10 super improver, after Christmas go to practice cards, when needed guff counter independent, and bullseye game if needed. Use your teacher's intuition. Use as much of this as possible before you go to the bullseye game. You only know if you've got a numero uno challenging kid if they've resisted all this stuff. Now let's say you don't have a bunch of sweeties. You've got some rowdies. Here's the rowdies timeline. Very different. Come in with the practice cards before Christmas. October if you have to. Go to the guff counter in November. After Christmas, go to the independents. And then you still got the bullseye game in your back pocket. And here's what Marge says. How are all these levels related? Scoreboard for class behavior, no reward but bragging rights. Super improvers, individual improvement, no reward but the joy of rising higher and higher. Practice cards, individual penalties and rewards. Guff counter stops individual backtalk. Independence breaks up a resistant group of rebels. And the bullseye game for the toughest of your tough kids. And Marge points out with all these levels, my class will be like a living video game. Remember this. We've got so many tools for you. Make a tally sheet. Mark which you're using and how often you use it. And this coordinates the whole plan. Now it's time for a brain fact, my friends. And I have a special brain fact for you. This special brain fact, let me see what this special brain fact is. Remembering memories is our special brain fact for the night. I'm just going to summarize. Here it is. Yes. My brain fact is really dopamine light or dopamine dark. Let's talk about dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical released by the brain's neurotransmitters that gives us the feeling of pleasure. Runner's high is said to be the product of dopamine, and so is cocaine addiction. As pointed out in an earlier broadcast, scientists were surprised to discover that engaging in acts of kindness releases dopamine. Doing good for others makes us feel good. Call this dopamine light. Now here's the bad news. Scientists also point out that dopamine is released when we engage in acts of unkindness, when we're downright mean. Call this dopamine dark. Have you ever noticed that your challenging kids get a pleasure jolt from meanness? Dopamine dark at work. So let me just address my online audience. Anyone notice this phenomenon? A kid does something mean and loves it. Getting a dopamine jolt from badness. They smile. They dig it. It's that two-sided dark and light dopamine chemical in their brain. They laugh. You've seen it. I've got an answer for you, but I just want you to tune in that when that kid has a grin on his face after doing something mean, it's a dopamine jolt. Wow. Isn't that intriguing? Now here's the deal, and this is pure theory. The deal is this. Here's my thinking. What's the answer? In the Bullseye game, when challenging kids match the instructor's score, they're getting a jolt of dopamine light to negate the jolt of dopamine dark they gave themselves earlier in the day when they're breaking rules. Let me go over that again. The kid is getting dopamine dark, enjoying the meanness and the disruption. But at the end of the day, when they're honest about that, and they match the teacher's score, and they feel pleasure in winning the Bullseye game, we turn the dark to dopamine light. Joy in being honest. So the teeter-totter doesn't stay down the dark side. Dark, 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 dark. Light. Yeah, baby. You see the beauty of that. Anybody digging, and I'm going to call this the dopamine teeter-totter, anybody digging the idea that we want to finish with a heavy dose, a dopamine light that counterbalances and is produced by all the negative behavior? I think that's a good one. People are giving me 10-finger woos online, and I didn't even ask for them. I'm taking a shot from my Cesar Chavez cup. The sacrament of reconciliation. You're talking to a Catholic, Page Art. All right, here's the zingy bonus. The zingy bonus is, and I hope you're all using this, you are still ever so cool. Let me just describe it. Kid makes a mistake in a traditional classroom. The teacher says something like, "Oh, what do you think about what John just said?" Look, a kid makes a mistake. Just say, "Class, tell him you're still cool." The point is they are still cool. They just made a mistake. But their coolness resides untouched. And the beauty of you're still cool is you'll make a mistake and the kids will tell you, "Mr. Battle, you're still cool." So we've eliminated the embarrassment of error from our classroom. You say something wrong, at least you said something. You're still cool. Anybody in the online audience used you're still cool. Oregon Teach, try you're still cool. It's very cool. All the time, says Blizzard. Every day, says Loftus. March 12, get on board there. And so, my friends, let's take a look at your favorite game, You Bet Your Wibby. Who out there just loves to play You Bet Your Wibby, and who doesn't have a clue as to what You Bet Your Wibby is? Who's digging You Bet Your Wibby? Yes. Saltus 214. Saltus, you're going to love it. It's going to be your favorite game. I'm taking a drink to you. We got some people online who dig it. No clue, says Mickey Peta. Here's how you play. Get out a piece of paper right now. You're going to score yourself. Get out a piece of paper. You're going to be self-scoring. You're going to see how good you are at whole brain teaching. Now remember, you're up against hotshots like Sarah Metter and Blizzard 57 and Michelle Shelton and Jeff Battle. I mean, they're good. Let's see if you can hang a little bit. Here's how we play. Everybody got a piece of paper. Let me know. We got plenty of time tonight. Everybody got paper. Blizzard's ready. Marianne's ready. Conk Girl, good to see you online. Conk is ready. Tall Man wants to get closer. Longhorn, you're ready. Stew Crew, you're ready. Here we go. Now score yourself. Here's the first level. If you are using Class Yes, give yourself 1 point. If you're using Class Yes Boom, give yourself 2 more points. If you're using Core Knowledge Yes, give yourself 3 points. And if you've taught another teacher 1 or more attention getter, which is our Class Yeses, give yourself 4. You could get 10 points right now. And if you don't know what these are, we'll show you where to find out. So who's got how many points so far? Let me hear you, online audience. What's your score? It's from 0 to 10 right now, just on Class Yes, Boom. Oh, Shelly Moko's got 10. Sarah Meadows only got 4. All right, Jeff Battle's got 8. All right, here we go. Here's your next one. Now add these points to your previous one. Mirrors. If you use mirror words, give yourself a point. If you use silent mirrors, give yourself 2 more. If you use magic mirrors, give yourself 3 more. And if you taught another teacher about 1 or more mirrors, give yourself 4. That could be a total of 10 points just on mirrors. So what's your total score now? How many points have you got? You could have 20 so far. All right, Page Art's got 16. Loftus has got 18. Tall Man's a rookie at 8. Battle's got 18. Michelle Shelton gives herself a duh. All right, 20 points possible so far. Here we go. Let's see how good you really are. All these are covered in the master class. Now, classroom rules. If you're using a teacher review of the classroom rules, give yourself a point. If students are leading the review, 2 points. If you're using call-outs, 3. And if you taught another teacher the classroom rules, that's 4. 30 points possible so far. Who's got how many? Go on and brag about it. Longhorn, come on now. Marsh 12, you got 23. Page Art, you're cooking, Page Art. Dragonfly, you got 16. Conk, good job. Rockin' at 30, says Sarah Metter. 214, your Wibby's long gone, huh? Teacher, SD, you're falling behind. All right. Sister Jose, I'm glad you've got 11 down there in Brazil. Here's the next one. Rules implementation. If students follow directions quickly, give yourself a point. If students follow rules 1 to 4, give yourself 2. If they've mastered all the rules, you're dreaming, but give yourself a 3. And if you taught another teacher how to implement the rules, give yourself a 4. You're up to 40 points possible. Who's got how many with rules implementation added on? This is a tough category here. Yes, 40 points possible, and you see the difficulty of implementing those rules. Jeff Battle has even fallen back to 35. Michelle Shelton was rolling, and now she's dropped down to a 33. Sarah Metter, she's at 37. She's honest. Teach okay. Here we go. You should score some points with this one. If you use teach okay 10 times a day, give yourself a point. 20 times a day, give yourself 2 points. You're using teach okay, and you can give a 2-sentence micro lesson, add 3 more. And if you taught another teacher the teach okay, give yourself 4. That's 50 points possible. Come on, Battle, add them up right, my friend. So 50 points possible. Shelly Moko, you just jumped up to 36. Rebel, that's the idea, is to show you what you need to work on. Page Art, you're at 35. Tall Man, get on board, my friend. Conch Girl, just hang in there. Battle's at 47. Michelle's at 43. Wolfalicious at 36. This shows you where you need to grow. Scoreboard. Check it out. If you're making 20 marks a day, that's a point. 30 marks a day is 2 points. 40 marks a day is 3 points. And if you taught another teacher the scoreboard, that's 4 more. You could be up at 60 points now if you're really rolling with whole brain teaching. Tall Man, just work on your tally sheet. Teacher in SD, 25. Loftus at 50. Dragonfly, you're at 35. You're moving up, Dragonfly. Blizzard's at 45. Remember, there's 60 points possible. Kate Court, you're at 34. Think about what you need to improve on. 5-step lesson plan. Loftus, you're right. Battle, you're just throwing in the excuses there, but you got 50. I'm happy with you. Now, Super Improver. Who's using Super Improver? Lots of praise, few stars, that's a point. If you set individual improver goals, that's 2. If you're using the ultimate Super Improver with Mysterion, and you taught another teacher about Super Improvers, you could now be up to 70 points. We've got a big system here, my friends. Lots of bits and pieces. Now that was week 7. Week 8 is just a review, so there's no points there. Week 9 practice cards. Now, I'm going to do things a little different here with practice cards. If you're using white cards, give yourself a point. It's too early to be using purple or green. And give yourself 4 points if you've taught practice cards. So you could be up to 75 points now. Just got a few more to go. Let's stop a second. Stop a second. Just tell me, I think we froze up again, my friends. Yep, I'm coming back. Here I am one more time, my friends. All right, so stop for a second. What technique do you need to spend more time on in class to pick up your WIBI score? Where do you need, what webcast do you need to take a look at? Super Improver says battle. All of them says 214. B Marvin says all of them. Pick one, that's too many. Pick one or two. Your own tally sheet is a good one to work on. Practice card says Conk Girl. Teach OK says B Marvin. Scoreboard, magic mirrors. That's the point of this game, my friends, is just to show you where you need to work. So let me just go quickly through the last. The Guff counter is another place to pick up some points. The Independence is another place to pick up some points. And tonight, the Bullseye Game. Let's just do an on-screen survey. Who thinks it's time for them to use the Bullseye Game before Christmas? Now that you know about it. Or are you going to keep it in your back pocket? Griffin in LA says you. Marvin says yes. Back pocket says Blizzard. Back pocket says Loftus. Maybe says Dragonfly Love. Good, Sarah Metter. Back pocket. You want something in every pocket, says Shelly Moko. All right, my friends. If you want a copy of all the slides from tonight, then go to our PayPal, and this is program 568, and I will send you a copy of all the slides. Here's our PayPal right here on our website, and I'll also send you a professional development certificate for tonight's program that has 2 parts. Who is using these webcasts for professional development credit? I'd love to know. I'll take a drink while you tell me. Anybody using these for professional development credit? Page art? Great. Jackie says yes. Oregon teacher says you. Glad to hear it. Michelle says yes. Kath says yes. I'm glad to help you out with these. Now, those of you who tuned in last week and this week know that we've only got one more week left. And next week, I'm summarizing all 13 weeks of the masterclass. Tell me who is thrilled to the bottom of their pajamas to get a summary of all 13 weeks of the masterclass. Yeah, all 13 weeks of the masterclass next week. And you know, this huge new program we have coming, big announcement, coming in the new year, WBT Parenting. Here's what I want you to do. Copy this down. Blizzard, can you put this link up? Facebook.com, Whole Brain Parenting. Tell your kids' parents to like this. I'm going to have some incredible new techniques in the new year. Whole Brain Parenting. Send a note out to your parents. Let's use these techniques at home. Now, we will be back on Monday nights when the new year starts. We're going to have a December break after next night's show. get your kids' parents to like whole brain parenting so I can teach them as well. It works on husbands too. It doesn't work so well on wives, but it works on husbands. Now I've got a question for you. I'm going to do a little market research. A little market research. Here's my question. It's either A or B. Help me out. Which book title would you be more likely to buy? A, Whole Brain Parenting, or B, Whole Brain Parenting for Challenging Kids? Give me A or B. Which do you prefer? Which one would you buy? Seeing more votes for A, couple B, A, A. That's helpful because I was wondering if I should tilt this towards parenting challenging kids. Conch Girl, you got a nice point there. If they're at the point to buy a book, they're desperate and know their kids are challenging. And all the kids are challenging, let's face it. So I think we're going with A. That's very, very helpful. All right, my friends, some of you sometimes ask, how can we get you to come deliver at our schools? Get your administrator, send me an email. Let's start negotiations. My email address is chrisbiffle@wholebrainteaching.com. And my friends, whole brain parenting is going to be about classroom management at home, but also about academics. It'll be behavior and learning. See the beauty of that? All right, my friends, I am delighted to be with you again on a Monday night. We've got one more Monday night to go before we take our December break. Get lots of your teacher friends to tune in next Monday night because that will be our 13-week summary. And my friends, I thank you so much for the prayers for my family. Please keep them coming. I will see you next week. It is Power to the Teachers. Coach B signing off. God bless us all. See you soon.